Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make an Xbox Series X house. Here is the amount of space required to make your build, an 18 by 21 block area as represented by the white concrete grid on the ground, which you are more than welcome to make if you do feel as though it will help you plan out your build. Here are all of the materials that you will need to make your build. Please do make sure that you have access to all those materials and enough of them as well. And now that we have all of our stuff, we can get started. Come all the way over to the front right hand corner of your grid, if you've made it, and count backwards 1, 2, 3. Then we can begin by placing a row of 18 black concrete going left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm then going to extend backwards by 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And then I'm going to extend across the back and join all the way to the front. Now I'm going to take all of the four corners and I'm going to extend them up each by 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Perfect. So I'm then going to extend that 25th block all the way across towards the back, and I'm actually going to make a nice solid shape. So just to give you a nice visual representation of what the right of the Xbox will look like, it's this, except it's not going to be see-through, we have to fill the entire thing in. Ladies and gentlemen, this starts an epic saga of where we have to fill in most of the Xbox. So when it comes to detail on the Xbox, the right side, the back side, and the left side are pretty much exclusively, not only just pretty much, they are just black. So this is going to take a very long time to do. In addition to this, the top of the Xbox isn't particularly detailed either. It's basically just a big giant, I suppose I'll call it a mesh sort of area, which is just basically a chessboard pattern of black and grey concrete. So this is what is in store for us. I don't know what I'm going to say throughout all of the building of this. It might even be better perhaps if I speed this part up, because otherwise I'm going to start rambling. But I suppose that we'll see as we progress through. So that is one side of the Xbox, and honestly I think that I'm going to come over to this side as well, and I think I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm just going to take this entire opposite side and I'm going to raise it up. I realize that I haven't created the dimensions for it, meaning I haven't extended any of the sides up by 25 as to make sure that I'm going to do it to the correct height, but I figure when I get somewhere close, I'll raise up this entire side and then I'll extend the top of the opposite side over just to make sure. But I would be highly surprised if I'm even halfway yet, so that's not something that we have to worry about just yet. The big bonus of this area being so large is that you can modify this into a pretty huge, I guess honestly it's more of a mansion than just a simple house. This would be, with all of the living space inside this, I mean this would probably be, if we take the square area inside, one of the largest houses that I've ever made. Of course it doesn't quite work out that way, it's not structured like a house exactly, but I think that you guys get the idea. I'm getting quite close to the top, so I'm just going to extend this top block over and down, just like this, despite the fact I can barely see it. After all this time, you think that I'd mess with the contrast settings on my TV so that I could see the black on black, but I can't. So that is what the opposite side looks like, and honestly that wasn't too bad, which leaves but this backside here. So we don't have to extend the row over when we're on this backside, from left to right, because it should be quite apparent to us when we hit it. We'll simply just be connecting the two sides. So this is going to be the final side that is just simply black. I did mention earlier that the top of this is just going to be grey and black, kind of like checkered. That's a little more interesting to do, actually, just because, number one, I think it is a smaller area, I think. It should be, because it's like a, it's not quite 18, it's like a 15 by 20-ish block area, something like that. Actually take off a little more because we've already done the sides, but let's say that it's like, you know, like a 14 by 18 block area or something. That's definitely a little bit smaller than this. And I am noticing that every so often I am missing blocks as well, so yeah, there we go. They become very apparent and very easy to see by the fact that you can see just straight through this. So we will probably do the top of the build as well. Whilst we're in the mass building part, we might as well get all of the fun parts taken care of. And then we can move on to the more interesting parts, I think. So there we go, that's the back and the sides done. And then literally this is all you have to do. It doesn't even really matter what corner you're starting or how you do this. So for the top of this, you quite literally just want to alternate black and grey concrete, just over and over and over and over again, and you just want to keep repeating this. Like, you want to alternate them, and that just means that, like, in front of these you want to also place, like, in front of and to the side you want to have the opposite block, whatever that block may be. You just want to do that. It's honestly, it's a nice little break really from doing the sides, which are just all black, but it is a little bit more taxing. So if you like to alternate between the blocks, kind of how I am now, then you can do that. But another strategy is to add all of one color in first. You might find that a little bit easier, and then add the other color in between. So you're kind of passing off like a different it's exactly the same thing. It is a little bit more rigorous because you've kind of like got to time the placement of the blocks. But if you're a little bit like me, and when you're like mass filling in areas with the same sort of style and repetition, then sometimes I get a little bit bored, and I like to make like little games. So it's kind of fun just to, like, as you're scrolling by, try and get the grey concrete in the right spot. Or you can just alternate. As you can see, you can just alternate doing this. So, you know, it's up to you. This one I find a little, that the alternating, like, it seems a little bit more difficult in terms of, like, I mean, it feels like I'm getting arthritis in my fingers, which is probably something that I want to avoid. So this just seems a little bit easier. I actually don't know which is faster. I would bet that the first method is actually faster if you were to time it, but I don't really care. I'd rather just save the I'd rather save my finger dexterity and just kind of do it like the, I guess this is kind of like it's kind of like the easier way of doing it. So, but once we have done this, by the way, the good thing about this is that we can move on to all of the fun parts. So there is going to be a little bit more filling in just a little bit later, but I have been excited about adding the details to the Xbox because this has been just a little bit, I don't want to call it bland, but like the outside of the Xbox for the most part is a little bit plain. But there we go, perfect. That is what we want to have. It actually looks like a PC tower at this moment in time. So, which I suppose it is, really. So, now that we have done this, I want you to come all the way down to the bottom right-hand corner of the front of your Xbox. I want you to place a black concrete in this corner with a door to the left. In front of the door on the ground, place a polished andesite stairs, and above the door, we're going to place black concrete. Behind the black concrete, I'm going to place another one, because the idea here is that we want to have two grey concretes above the door like this, and we're just going to have an effect that should look like so. So basically, we have black concrete surrounding the grey concrete like this, around the top of the door, kind of sunken in. And if we come all the way over to the left side here, and in this corner you place a black concrete, and to the right of this you want to basically extend this black concrete on the ground backwards, if that makes sense. And then we want to have a similar detail. So we want to have 8 grey concrete extending upwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then surrounding the grey concrete, we want to have black concrete. So kind of like all the way around the outside of it, just like so. And above the top of this area, we're just going to have a little stone button like this. And if we come all the way up to the top, I want you to place a black concrete once again in the corner here with a sea lantern underneath, grey concrete to the right, sea lantern to the right, sea lantern underneath the grey concrete beside the sea lanterns below the grey concrete, and then grey concrete in the middle, and we'll have something which should look like this. Then we're going to place black concrete. This is where the other mass filling in part comes. We want to fill the entire rest of the front of this in with black concrete. So I suppose the excitement was a little bit short-lived of filling in the Xbox with something new, but honestly the design of this is kind of cool. Like, it's the design of it being so like sleek. I know that it's kind of huge. It's like a big box, but I do quite honestly like the design. I think it's like very simple, it looks very modern, as opposed to the PS5, which, by the way, not hating on either of them. I have both. I don't have a PS5, but I have a PS4, and I have a couple of Xboxes. So, like, I have all platforms and PC, of course, and even a Switch. Actually, I have pretty much everything. But so I don't particularly have a favorite. But in terms of looks, like PS5 versus the Xbox X, I do like the Xbox X a little bit better. The PS5 does make for a better meme, though. I will give it that. So this is what we want to have so far. And if all you're bothered about is just an Xbox X, you're not bothered about the controller, then this is perfect. There you go, you've nailed it. I think this is inadvertently as high as the Xbox. Honestly, I didn't design it this way, but it is as tall as the one to the left of it, who would have thought. So what we now want to do, or maybe you don't want to do, but I think that this does improve the build quite a bit. Like, it does. This is a cool feature to add, so feel free. I'm going to add a controller next to the door. It's actually going to be the same as that one over there, but it's going to be black. So this is going to be very hard for me to make, because black on black I can barely even see it. Maybe I've just got bad eyes, who knows. I need glasses, maybe. Anyway, can you buy eye contact lenses for koalas? You'd have to make them pretty big. But regardless, next to the door, we're going to leave a gap of 1 and place a black concrete on the ground. We then want to extend the black concrete up by 2. 1, 2. Then we're going to mark out using a red concrete. We're then going to place a black concrete, and then we want to place a black stone stairs on top of this. Left of this, a black concrete. On top of this, a black stone stairs. And then we want to go left of the stair by 5 using black concrete. 1, 2, and again, so hard to see. 3, 4, 5. Stick a stair on the end, a black concrete underneath it, a stair on the end. We then want to extend black concrete down to the ground, just like this. Take the black concrete on the ground, extend it right, up, right, up. You then want to place a grey concrete to the right, black concrete, grey concrete, black concrete, but then going to extend down, right, down. Perfect. To which we are then going to fill the middle of this in using black concrete like so. And then red concrete extended in front of the red concrete on the right. You want to extend it 1 row towards you. You want to extend grey concretes towards you as well. We want to... Actually, you know what the thing is here? We actually want to, like... Actually, we might want to, like, add another layer first. No, actually, we'll mark out all of the important blocks. My bad. I'm starting to confuse myself, and possibly you as well. So what we're going to do is above and in between these 2 grey concrete blocks, we're going to move up 1, and we're going to place a sea lantern like this, right? And then these are all of the important blocks that we have to... Except, actually, over here on the right where we have this red concrete, we want to have a black concrete to the left of it, a green concrete underneath. I'm going to get rid of the door and the stair. I'm going to grab blue and yellow. I'm going to place a blue concrete to the left of the black concrete and a yellow on top of it. And then I want you to also grab the grey concrete, and where we have this grey concrete here on the left, I want you to leave a gap of 1. And move up 1 and place a grey concrete like this. And then we're going to place black concretes extending forwards from all of the black concretes that we have for the controller. So we want to take all of the black concretes and we want to extend them forwards. And once again, I know that I keep complaining, but I'm trying my very best to see all of these. We want to take all of these stairs and we want to extend these forwards as well. So we want to have something like this. And now we want to extend certain blocks forwards, which is why I was getting a little bit confused earlier, because I'm stupid. So we then want to take all of the grey concretes and we want to extend them all forwards. They're all analog sticks and D-pads. We want to place buttons, regular stone buttons, above the two central analog sticks. And there you go. There's your controller. There it is. It looks pretty cool, I think, in front of the Xbox. I don't think it detracts away from the design at all. And now that we have done that, ladies and gentlemen, we have completed the build. So this is what your Xbox Series X will look like once it has been 100% fully completed, ladies and gentlemen. If you have enjoyed this tutorial, please do remember to hit that like button, as it really helps me and the channel out very, very much. If you're new around here, please do consider subscribing and clicking that little bell next to the subscription button. I'll ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. And if you do want to make anything else by me, check out the card system, the description below, and the top of the comment section for more. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoy filling in your absolutely giant Xbox Series X house, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.